Okay, so for my group, we are traveling to Spokane, Washington, and we decided that we're a family of Mormons. So the recipe we're going to be making is Mormon Johnnycake, which is basically a type of cornmeal. And when the Mormons were traveling they were going to Salt Lake City, but our family is Mormons going to Spokane because we're cool like that. The two of the main ingredients that they had with them was cornmeal and flour, so they weren't really able to make gourmet meals and stuff, so it started out as a very simple thing, but later it was developed to turn into a more tasty recipe with molasses and sugar and what we use today. So first we're going to wash our hands, because before you cook you need to wash your hands. Okay, now that that's done, you'll come over here. And these are the ingredients that we're going to be using. 2 eggs beaten, 2 cups buttermilk, 2 tablespoons of molasses or honey, 2 cups cornmeal, half a cup flour, 1 teaspoon soda, 1 teaspoon salt, and 2 tablespoons butter, which is here. So let's get started. So first you got to beat the eggs. So crack them into here. Yes. Okay. On the covered wagon, if you wanted an egg, in order for them not to crack on the bumpy terrain, they would put them in barrels of flour. And the only bad part about that was whenever you wanted an egg, you would reach in and your hands would come out all white from the flour. Okay, 2 cups buttermilk. Of course, back then they didn't have convenient packaging and a store nearby to get it. They just had to work with what they had. And they would cook over a fire to warm it up. Two tablespoons molasses or honey. So maybe I'll do 1 tablespoon of molasses and 1 tablespoon of honey. That's dark. Then we put in the honey. Two cups cornmeal. So pour that in your cup. Johnnycake is basically an old term for cornbread, which is what a lot of people eat now. Half a cup of flour. Half a cup of flour. I'm just cleaning the cups. Scoop it. Oh, half. Yes? Okay. 1 teaspoon soda. Teaspoon salt. Where's the salt? Oh, it's right here. And finally, 2 tablespoons butter.
One.
No. Okay, so now we're going to start cooking. So beat eggs until light. I added them all at once. I guess you're supposed to add them like one at a time. Do this, but you know what? Whatever. Let's come. So come take a closer look. And we're just beating them, everything together. And I'm going to stir it a bit myself, the old-fashioned way like they had to do then. Another common meal that they would eat on the trail was called fried bread. And basically, you know, once you ran out of food, and so we're going to stir it. And that looks about right. So now, ready? Pour into a buttered dripper pan. So now we're going to pour this into a pan. And I already buttered the pan before I started. So it'll be ready. And as I was saying earlier, a common meal was fried bread. Basically, you'd put some dough and like some flour in a pan, and your mom would put it over a fire. And you would eat your fried bread because that's all there was. And people would be very happy if you were able to stop off the trail and get go fishing or get some wild onions and berries because it got very tiring eating fried bread all the time. So now we're going to put this in the oven and we're going to bake it to about 425 degrees for 20 minutes until done, and then we're going to cut it into large squares. So, we put this in the oven. I'll come a little closer. We'll put that up to 425 degrees and bake. And now we're going to wait about 20 minutes, and then once we're back, we're going to cut it, and we're going to serve, and we're going to taste it. So we'll be right back.
We're adding some really good facts.
We're about halfway through our cooking, and so I'm going to check on it. With my handy dandy wood shop oven rack puller outer thing. Yeah, we got a while ago, but it's still gonna be good. How do you put it back in? Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I thought that was going to be a more exciting noise. Okay, go off. So now we're going to take it out of the oven. It's going to have to cool for a little bit. So, oh, it's looking good. I'm going to get a towel because I don't want to burn myself. Safety, children. So we're going to put it right here. Oops. It smells good. I bet the Mormons on the trail would be like, good job, Annie. Okay, so we're going to let it cool for a bit. And let's look up some fun facts about Mormons while we're waiting. So, who wrote the Book of Mormon?
Okay, give me a moment.
Siri's going to educate us.
It looks like the author of Book of Mormon was Joseph Smith.
Well, he was the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and he published the Book of Mormon, which he said was his translation of golden plates inscribed with Asian Americans' religious history. And yeah, Mormons believe in polygamy. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to test if it's done. So to do so, you put a toothpick in the middle, and we're going to see if it comes out clean, then it's done. If it comes out with dough on it, then it has to cook for about 2 or 3 more minutes. I think it's ready. Okay, so now we are going to cut it into large squares to serve. And this should make about 24 pieces. I'm going to make them skinny because I think this is a good batch. I'm a pretty expert cook. Go Annie. So now we're going to cut it to serve. It's hot, so be careful. Would you like some tartan? Yeah. Okay, 2 at least. So our Mormon Johnnycake is done.
Ever since I was a child, I tried to be the best.
You can't see it, but that says Mormon Johnnycake.
My family and friends all said I was blessed.
And the song that's playing is from the Book of Mormon.
Was supposed to
So that's how you do it. That's how you make
be teaching of Christ.
Mormon Johnnycake. So
Allowed my faith
if you ever want to do that,
to what's the
that's how you do it.
I've always
Thanks for watching.